Thank you very much, Madam President, and thank you for the kind invitation to come to this state visit, which, as you noted, has been long coming because the last president of Finland who was in Tanzania was Tarja Halonen some 22 years ago. It's a great honor to be here to celebrate the 60th anniversary of our diplomatic relations between Finland and Tanzania. We've been long-standing partners, and I think that this visit reaffirms our shared commitment to broadening our bilateral relations towards a more comprehensive partnership. And as you mentioned, Tanzania is the longest-standing development partner for Finland, and I also have a business delegation here with me, roughly 10 companies, which reminds me of the trip that I did here 2013 as Minister of Trade, when we had a business delegation with us as well. We believe very strongly in equal partnerships on business, trade, and actually on world politics. You also know that Tanzania has a special place in the hearts of all Finns for many reasons, but one of them is late President Martti Ahtisaari, who was an ambassador here in the 1970s.
Mwasisi wetu Martti Ahtisaari aliyekuwa ni balozi hapa Tanzania pia, na alishirikiana nani katika maeneo mengi hasa ya kimaendeleo na hata katika swala zima la mambo ya upatanishi kwa ajili ya kupatikana kwa uhuru wa Namibia na kadhalika. Na nafahamu mengi aliyoyafanya kwa sababu yeye pia alikuwa ni mwalimu wangu katika maeneo mengi, na alinieleza pia kuhusiana na wakati mzuri aliokuwa nao hapa Tanzania. Na leo tulijadiliana katika
looking at this shift for the better part of 5 to 10 years, and the question is, will it tilt towards a multipolar transactional world, which we're seeing right now, or more towards a multilateral world of cooperation? And I think countries like Tanzania have such a big say in this. If we want to continue to work closely with, for instance, the United Nations, then we need to change the power structure there to reflect the realities of today's world, and I'm sure we'll be working together in that direction. For us in Finland and many of us in Europe right now, we do have one existential war, which is Russia's war of aggression in Ukraine, where one country is trying to deny the independence, the sovereignty, and the territorial integrity of another. And of course, on this continent, you have had that experience. We've had a similar experience in World War II, and that is why we work so hard to make sure that international law is respected, that Ukraine wins this war, and that we find a lasting and just peace. But I think sometimes in the West, wars that are close to us are somehow more important than wars that are far away. And I think that's a wrong way to think about things. The war in the Middle East, Palestine, Israel, or the situation here in Sudan are just examples of broad-scale conflicts which cause human misery on a large scale. What we need to do now is to get back to multilateral institutions mediating peace, because when we are in a situation where there are a whole bunch of outside players trying to fill power vacuums, it's much more difficult to reach peace. Now, we of course didn't only talk about foreign relations. We talked a lot about key issues such as regional peace and stability here. We talked about climate change and gender equality, among other things, including, of course, various areas of cooperation, which the President, I think, quite well outlined. Now, I just want to finish off by saying that in our discussions, it became clear that our shared objective is not only to have good bilateral relations, but is to work together to maintain the international order. And our objective is to develop that further and better reflect the African continent's growing global significance. Finland and Tanzania will both promote a global system in which all countries have a right to build their own agency and influence based on their histories and experience. People and global development potential are increasingly here in Africa, and global governance systems have to adapt to that reality. And I certainly see, coming from a relatively small northeastern country with a population of 5.6 million people, I see Tanzania as a very close partner right now and in the future. And you never know, perhaps we'll be members, albeit rotating members, of the UN Security Council together in 2029, 2030. So thank you very much.